How would you kind of describe the way you guys started the game? It seemed like you guys were out of sorts a little bit.
Yeah, I know Coach has been saying that with exams and our couple days off before Christmas and on Christmas have kind of broken up our streak of doing well in games and practice and stuff, and he's completely right about that, and we have to get back on track. With the Big East coming up, there's no doubt about it that we have to get on that pace again.
You guys get done with the non-conference season now. You start heading into Big East play. Is this about how you felt it would go? Slow start, but certainly turned it on in Brooklyn.
Yeah. I mean, this is the way it should have been. We expected to handle non-conference like this, and I think it's prepared us well for Big East play coming up.
Luke, how weird is it for you to start 1 for 6? I know a bunch of those were kind of weird putbacks that just didn't fall, but that's just something that doesn't happen for you.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's just the way the game was going today. Obviously I didn't plan on that, and usually it doesn't happen. But you just got to move on to the next play and get it over with, and be focused for the next chance.
Despite struggling early on, how does it feel to have a 9-game winning streak for the first time since 2011 and 2012?
It feels great. It's a great thing for us, and it's exactly what we need to go into conference play. And as long as we can keep it going, we'll be all right.
You've had the chance now to grow a lot with Henry over the course of this win streak, double-doubles for both of you today. Talk about the development of the relationship between you and him and how each of you has affected each other's games.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I think we're one of the best front courts in the country. With his versatility, with shooting, passing, driving, it's incredible. And luckily enough, I'm just in the right spot at the right time, so it helps me out a lot too.
When you look at the Big East and you see 3 teams in the top 10, and then none of them is Villanova, who's still in the top 25, what are your expectations for Big East play coming up?
It's going to be tough, no doubt about it. I mean, I thought once again our conference was underrated going into the year, and people weren't really looking at us to be another successful conference, and I think we've turned a lot of heads with how many teams have been so successful, and to have all those teams playing so well, it's a good opportunity for us to show what we can do too.
It was an 18-point win, but it was close up until the last few minutes, and your guys in stretches didn't look as sharp as they have at times this season. What was your take on today's game?
First of all, I probably didn't do a good enough job preparing them, whether I gave them too much time off or in the time we've been back, not getting them ready because we weren't ready. And ultimately, that's my responsibility. But I don't want to take anything away from Presbyterian because I thought their kids played hard, but we did not play well in any facet of the game.
Are there anything specific, or is there anything specific that you feel like you really need to key on in preparing for Seton Hall on Wednesday?
Yeah, there's a number of things. I mean, both ends of the floor, defensive intensity, execution of game plan on the defensive end, offensively. Playing sharp, playing to our identity. There's a laundry list. It's too long to go through.
Did you like the way the guys responded at the end of the game, or was it kind of too little, too late?
It's a privilege to play college basketball, and when you step on the floor, you owe the game to give your all to the game and your team. And I can handle whatever outcome that is a result of players giving themselves to the game and their team. And I don't think we did that today. So I don't really look at any portions of the game with excitement or enthusiasm.
Obviously, you guys had a lot of struggles, but what about Hanif's 5 points towards the end of the half to give you guys a 9-point lead?
Well, Hanif's a really good player. He's been one of I think, the better freshmen in the country, and he's a key guy for our team. That scoring burst was needed, and so that was good.
You get double-doubles today from Fischer and Ellenson, and we don't tend to ask you a lot of questions about Henry because he gets his 15 and 10 seemingly every time out. Can you talk about his development over the non-conference season and how well you expect him to do in Big East play?
Well, I think Henry's shown that he's having as good, if not better, of a freshman year than anybody in the country. I mean, he's obviously a huge part of our team, and we depend on him in a big way, and he's got the ability to deliver on that dependence. I know that the quality of competition and the focus of game plans as we head into the Big East are going to be at a whole nother level for him. And so he'll have to adjust to that.
Looking at the Big East, there's 3 teams in the top 10. None of them is Villanova, who's still in the top 25. What does that say to you about the conference as you get ready to take on that?
Well, the Big East is as good a conference as there is in college basketball. The programs, the coaches, and the players. It's a big-time conference, and there's no nights off. I mean, you're playing in traditional basketball venues where the people at the schools care deeply about their basketball programs. It's basketball first conference, outstanding coaches, prideful players. It's a man's league, and we need to be men.